presented by Coke. Is Coke Zero the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see. Coach and Marissa Young exchange lineup cards. The Sooners trot towards the circle in their all-white uniform for their pregame sway. Nicole May asks for noise from the Sooner faithful and contingent. She gets it. And DJ Sanchez, it's time for the keys to the game, brought to you by Riverwind Casino. What you got?
Coach Gasso stole one from me, but I think one thing that this team has been doing a really good job of is striking early, starting fast, but I'm going to go ahead and change it up a little bit and say strike early. This is a Duke team who is getting ready to get the feeling of this for the very first time, and the Sooners need to apply that pressure early. On the other side of the ball for Kelly Maxwell, control the tempo and work ahead. This is a Duke offense that really tries to use the short game. They try to run. So limiting those free passes and taking care of business, letting her defense work for her. So work ahead and throw ground balls.
Today's keys brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. This game was scheduled to start at 1:30. What's wild is had we not had the weather delay, and with the pace of the Alabama-UCLA game, this game would have easily started on time at 1:30. But with the weather, about an hour and a half delay, hopefully the Sooners can work quickly here. Before we put a wrap on the Sooner Softball pregame show presented by Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality, we'll get the Sooner starting lineup when they come to the plate. Here's what they look like defensively. Same outfield that it's been all season long. Cassidy Pickering, she'll start in left with Riley Boone in right, Jada Coleman in center. A familiar look on the infield with the All-American, first-team All-American Alyssa Brito at third, first-team All-American Tiare Jennings at short, Alina Torres at second, Sid Sanders at first, a battery of Maxwell and Hanson. And again, we'll get the starting lineups presented by Norman Regional Health, the batting order for the Sooners when OU comes to the plate. Noana Jennings is knelt as she gets set to stride to home plate. One of the most dangerous leadoff hitters in the country. We're ready to go. Game one was a thriller. UCLA beats Alabama 4-1 on a clutch sixth-inning home run from UCLA first baseman Jordan Woolery. What excitement do we have in store for game two? We're about to find out. Kelly Maxwell toes the rubber, stares in. The lefty-lefty matchup, looks in, brings it home, and a first pitch strike. 3:07 p.m. with the first pitch. So that would mean the delay right at about an hour and 37 minutes.
Not too bad.
Not bad at all. It looked like we were going to be here a long time. Fouled off to Donna Jennings, who is dangerous. 402 average on the season for Jennings.
And just a sophomore. I mean, the things that she can do with the stick, she can lay down a bunt. She really moves well. 14 stolen bases on the year. But I like the matchup for Kelly Maxwell.
0-2, got her. Swinging, what a way. Good start for Maxwell with a strikeout of Jennings.
And that is the matchup I'm talking about. You saw Maxwell start early outside and then coming in hard to Jennings. That strike three pitch, if she can nail that spot with the rise ball against these lefties, it's going to be a tough day for them.
Here comes Claire Davidson, first team All-American, fouls it back. That was from D1 softball in Softball America. She is a dangerous left-handed hitter.
I don't know. I stopped it when she swung.
Our crowd mic is courtesy of ESPN, so they have hooked us up. I mean, it sounds like you're in the dugout. In fact, they might have to delay some of the conversations down there as the 0-1 pitch to Davison misses high. Thanks for joining us for the Sooner Softball pregame show, which is always and all season long, has been presented by Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Thanks to Tony and his crew for the incredible support of Sooner Softball. The 1-1 pitch misses a little bit low, 2-1. Davidson, a senior out of Lakewood Ranch, Florida. Duke through and through. And she hits one hard and deep to center field. Jada Coleman calls off the left fielder Pickering to make the catch, and there's quickly two away.
Two big outs. You know, and I talked so much about Maxwell controlling the tempo, working ahead, but one of the biggest keys that goes with all of that is taking care of the top of this order. That is the table setters for this Duke lineup. But what I like about it best is there's so many lefties in the top half of this order. Again, great matchup for Maxwell if she just hits her spots.
Here's Amina Vega, the sophomore second baseman. Missed a spot there on ball one. Vega, a 381 hitter. Lefty. Throughout the game today, we'll look back on that season opening game. Vega went 1 for 3 against the Sooners. And Kelly Maxwell had a strikeout as well. 1-0, hit hard towards the right side, backhanded by Torres, off balance throw. Did she get her? Oh, you bet she did. What a play by Alina Torres, backhanded it, and off balance, threw off her back leg and gets the speedy Vega. Curd goes through her final pregame tosses. We're set for the Sooners in the bottom of the first inning. Starting lineups brought to you by Norman Regional Health. No surprise, at the top of the lineup, Jada Coleman will lead things off. Second team All-American for Jada. 4.02 average. She's been sensational defensively this postseason. First team All-American Tiare Jennings will bat third and play second base. Third team All-American Ella Parker will bat third and be the DP, with Kinsey Hansen in the cleanup spot. Hansen has been absolutely outstanding. 3-time All-American after being named to the second team, Kinsey Hansen. First team All-American Alyssa Brito will bat fifth and play third base. Alina Torres batting sixth at second. There's Cassidy Pickering, one of the semifinalists for Freshman of the Year, batting seventh. Riley Boone will bat eighth, and Sid Sanders will bat ninth. Starting lineups brought to you by Norman Regional Health, building our community stronger throughout South Central Oklahoma. First pitch to Jada, big cut, fouled it straight back.
I think the conversation during the delay was set the tone, right? And attacking a Duke team, again, I'm going to continue to go back to it. This is a team that's pretty young. Curd in the circle is just a sophomore. Again, a program that has never been here against, the dynasty that's been here nearly every year in the last decade.
Coleman takes the 0-1 pitch high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Patty Gasso in her 30th season stands in the third base coach's box. Oklahoma making its 12th Women's College World Series trip in the last 13 years. Its 17th in program history. Here's the 1-1 pitch in this lefty-lefty matchup. Jada swings and hits it hard to center field, but right at Jennings, who ranges back to make the catch. Hard hit ball to center, 1 away.
It's a good start. I know it goes down in the book as an out, but Jada Coleman was on time and absolutely squared that pitch up. That's what you like to see. Those are the type of outs you want early in a ball game.
Here is the 21st four-time NFCA first-team All-American in the awards history, Tiare Jennings. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up to right field. Davidson is under it, makes the catch, and quickly 2 away. When Tiare saw something she liked, jumped all over it, and just got under it. Here's Ella Parker.
In the way that Maxwell started this ball game in the first 2 at-bats, we've seen Coleman and Jennings come out first pitch hacking. Again, it's that attacking early and trying to put the pressure on Duke. Because there's always nerves. It doesn't matter if you're Jada Coleman and you've been here 4 times or you're a freshman at Duke.
Lefty-lefty matchup here, and the first pitch is up and in, ball 1 to Ella Park. She came to Oklahoma. She was the 3rd-ranked recruit in the country out of Los Angeles, California. A true freshman. Leads the team with a .419 average and takes ball 2 high. Boy, it is wild to look at these averages for the Sooners. Jade is just over 400, 372 for Tiare, 419 for Ella, 407 for Kinsey Hansen. 2-0 pitch, good hitters count here. Instead, Parker takes ball 3.
One thing, we talk so much about what Ella Parker does with the stick, but again, something I don't think we've let it sneak by, but she does such a great job of drawing walks, especially in these key moments right here. 2 quick outs and then making Curd stand out there and throw some pitches.
Here comes the 3-0. That's in for strike 1. Ella Parker. Ahead on the count, 3-1. The pitch is ball 4, and the Sooners have their first base runner. Ella Parker becomes the first base runner of the game on a 5-pitch walk.
And it's huge. And regardless of if Parker comes around to score or not, it's putting a base runner on early. It's not letting Curd and Duke have a 1-2-3 first inning. Again, I really feel that this is going to be such a game of putting pressure on Duke to see if you can get them to make mistakes.
First pitch to Hansen is a strike. Some oohs and ahs from the crowd on that one. Looked a little bit up and in. Hansen just 4 of 14 in the postseason. I should specify that, the 5 NCAA tournament games. The 0-1 pitch. K9 hits a little one-hopper to the shortstop. Baker makes the play, throws off balance, and gets her. Welcome back to Sooner Softball. We're scoreless as we head to the second. Presented by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway, and the presenting sponsor of the Women's College World Series on the Sooner Sports Network is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma, connecting Oklahomans to quality health care. Adjustment time for the Duke offense. What are you looking for here, DJ?
You know,
from Kelly Maxwell, I guess I should say. I don't want Duke to do well.
Maxwell, the way that she started the first inning, I loved it. The strikeout of Deanna Jennings was huge. And in the way that she did it, 3 pitches and the swing, it was a complete defensive, trying not to wear it in the face mask swing from Jennings. But I loved the pitch. And again, Maxwell setting a tone. So just continuing through the heart of this lineup, 4, 5, 6.
Francesca Freelich leads things off and takes a strike in the NCAA tournament. Kelly Maxwell is 2-0. This is her 3rd start for the Sooners. 2.00 ERA. Now in 15 innings, just 6 hits and 4 runs. She has walked 6. All of those in one game and struck out 13. There's ball 1, low and away.
I do like the tempo that we're seeing from Maxwell. Again, it's working quickly. She's getting the ball back. She looks comfortable and settled.
1 ball, 1 strike to the right-handed hitting Freelich. Ooh, that just missed. A little bit low and in.
It's a pretty good pitch. Little drop ball on the inner half. It's as good of a pitch as that was. It's even a better take from Freelich. That's a tough pitch to lay off of.
Maxwell's win over Florida State in the first game of the Super Regional was her 10th career NCAA tournament win. She's fallen behind 3-1 as the pitch to Freelich misses way up and away. And that felt like it had a little extra juice on it, 66 miles an hour. .3-1 is hit hard and deep to left field. It's trouble if it's fair. It's gone. Francesca Freelich bombs a 3-1 pitch over the left field wall, and Duke strikes first. It's 1-0 Blue Devils here in the top of the second inning on an absolute blast from Freelich. They got out of here in a hurry.
Now I'm going to go back to a key, work ahead. And that pitch actually was middle out. So a little bit of a miss. It was down in the zone, but Freelich, a good enough hitter to go down and get it. Maxwell's got to continue to live on the black of the plate, just catching too much white.
Here's Amia Burgess, first pitch in for a strike. Burgess, one of the youngsters in this group, a freshman, comes in hitting .319 on the season. She waits. Here comes the 0-1. A little bit low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is something that is unfortunately been a little bit familiar with Kelly this season. Giving up a few more home runs than I think she would even like. As the 1-1 pitch, boy, just misses a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike, and this gets back to falling behind in the count.
Yep, and I think, those two things go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. I mean, plain and simple, whether you're giving up the long ball or giving up a hit, more times than not, it comes in hitters' counts.
The 2-1, ball 3 low.
You can see Alyssa Burrito kind of going in and giving Kelly Maxwell some words of encouragement. Maxwell's been here. So, again, just settling down. She's looked good until this one pitch.
There's a strike. Full count to Burgess with nobody out in the top of the second inning. Duke strikes first on the Freelick home run. That's her 8th home run of the season. Tied for third on the Duke roster. 3-2. Called strike 3. Frozer on the outside corner. 1 away. Second strikeout for Maxwell.
If Maxwell's going to get that call, that pitch was a little bit off the plate, too close to take from Burgess with 2 strikes. But if that's a strike and it's established here early in this ball game, then Maxwell needs to live there, because that pitch is not going to get hit hard. It's not something that is you're going to be able to square up. I mean, that pitch was in the other batter's box.
Tinker Federal Credit Union strikeout. Oklahoma's largest credit union, and a first pitch strike to Anna Gold. 37th start of the season for Gold. That is incorrect, Plank. 60th start of the season for Gold. Started 37 games last year as a freshman, and she fouls back the 0-1 pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 Duke. Still very early in this game. The first hit of the game for the Blue Devils was a solo home run for Freelick. No balls, 2 strikes, way outside.
Good to see Maxwell ahead. I still want to go back to the 2-strike pitch to Burgess. I'm curious now. Burgess is a lefty. You've got Gold at the plate now. I kind of want to see Maxwell throw a drop ball on the outer half on the chalk and see if she gets the call.
Fouled off, same pitch.
Yep.
Good call.
And you could just see you can't handle that pitch well, but you have to protect it. So you know that that's something that Coach Jen Rocha recognized. Kelly Maxwell as well noticed it. Again, if you're going to get that call on the chalk, throw it there all day long, especially with 2 strikes, because then you're going to start seeing the strikeouts, but you're also going to start seeing those defensive swings because you can't handle that pitch. You can't hit it. You can't hit it well.
Quick delay. Riley Boone got a set of shades. She's reset out in right field. The 1-2 is a check swing foul. Boy, she's hammering that outside corner now, isn't she?
If that's a strike, throw it there all day. It also sets up the rise ball underneath the hands.
It opens up the arsenal, you would say.
There we go.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss.
And there's the rise ball.
2 away.
Back-to-back Ks to follow up the bomb again. Keep the ball in the yard, but if you're going to give up a shot, at least it was with nobody on base. But gotta love the response.
Eerily similar to game 1 of the regionals against Oregon, where in the top of the first inning, Ariel Carlson hit a home run off Kelly Maxwell. First pitch low. She was unhittable the rest of the way. At one point, double check, I think it was 13 straight Ducks that she had retired. Before Carly Keeney came in, struggled a bit in the 7th, and then Maxwell returned to shut him down. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Kelly Torres. That misses high 2-0. It was 14 straight that she had retired. Plank, get it right. 2 balls and no strikes. 8 home runs this year for Torres, was among their leaders with 43 runs batted in, and Maxwell has fallen behind 3 balls and no strikes to the 7-hole hitter, Kelly Torres, .357 average for the senior.
And something that I'm sure was in the report as well. I mean, the starting 9 for Duke, they've only walked 29 times this season.
And there's a 4-pitch walk, and not one of the pitches was relatively close. First walk of the game for Maxwell, and that will bring Jada Baker to the plate.
And with all of that, following up the 2 strikeouts with a 2-out walk, again, especially in the bottom half of this lineup, I mean, the 8-hole is hitting 239 for Duke. So going after the bottom half of this lineup and not allowing them to be table setters for Jennings and Davidson at the top.
Ooh, that was a nasty curveball that broke inside. Kinsey Hansen had to get moving. It's also the 5th straight ball from Maxwell, and Jen Rocha is going to jog out and chat, but that wasn't the original timeout. The original timeout was called by the third base coach for Duke. Marissa Young does not coach the bases for the Duke Blue Devils. Somewhat of a trend that we see in this sport for some coaches. But they are doing a little equipment work with Baker right now. Looks like, I don't know what it looks like, DJ.
Yeah.
It looks like something with her.
It's her armband.
Her armband?
Yep, her signal card. Well, Coach Rocha, she's so savvy. As soon as she saw it, she hustled out there to have her chat without having to be charged.
Here's the 1-0 pitch from Maxwell. There you go. Strike one.
Go right after Baker. Again, I already said it. Hitting 239 on the year. No need to try to be too fine. Just let your pitches move.
That one misses a little bit out. 2 balls and a strike. She's popping the mitt, that's for sure.
She's throwing hard. We're seeing the velo.
Runner at first is Torres. Not much of a threat to go. But you never know. There's a good pitch right on the inside edge. Called strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I say Torres isn't much of a threat. They have her listed as 7 for 10 in stolen bases. I don't think they have the right stats on our stat sheets.
Oh, no.
We'll go with it, though. Baker waits. The pitch in the dirt. Good job by Hansen to keep it in front of her. And now, regardless, Torres is going to get a jump start at first base on this 3-2 pitch.
And I think the thing I dislike in this inning is the big misses, right? You're missing small. You're setting up another pitch, but we're seeing some pretty wide misses from Maxwell.
3-2, grounded foul towards the Sooner dugout. OU down that third baseline in the dugout. From our broadcast perspective, high above Devon Park, you can see JT Gasso and Fale Steele at the end of the dugout, strategizing. Duke down that first baseline. All the cameras here from ESPN remain covered for rain protection. We've been given the all clear the rest of the day, but it looks a little dicey. 3-2, my goodness, not even close. Ball 4. And Giselle Tapia, the 9-hole hitter, will stride to the plate with 2 on and 2 out.
I talked a lot about when this game started about putting the pressure on Duke early. You know, walks aren't doing that, right? You're letting them off the hook, especially going through the worst part in their lineup. 7, 8, 9 are not their bangers, right? Again, back-to-back hitters hitting under 300. So throw a ground ball.
First pitch, Tapia pops it up back towards us, fouled away. Ooh, that thing had enough juice where someone probably had a play on it in one of those windows there.
It can happen up here.
It can. We came so close the last game. It was just out of the reach. Tapia is the highest rated recruit in Duke's program's history. She takes the 0-1 low, 1 ball, 1 strike. She has pretty much been a regular since her sophomore season. Started 53 games last year, 2 years ago, 31 during her junior season, and she's quickly ahead on the count, 2 balls and a strike, and Kinsey Hansen's going to use this moment to go out and chat with a suddenly wild Kelly Maxwell.
Yeah, you can just see it. First inning, hitting spots, very efficient, and the second inning has been a little bit of an issue. And again, I even take the home run out of it. I didn't like that it came in a 3-1 count, right? That's part of the problem. But just seeing the big misses here in the 7, 8, 9 in a position, again, that Kelly Maxwell let your defense work behind you.
Meeting at the circle is over. Maxwell's ready with the 2-1, fouled off. Good pitch.
I will say this, you were talking about Tapia for Duke. I love the stat that they have up on the Jumbotron right now. As a 9-hole hitter, leads the NCAA in sacrifice flies. I love that stat coming from a 9-hole.
Thankfully,
nobody on third.
Right,
I wouldn't have brought it up if there was a runner on third.
And 2 outs here, too. The 2-2 is lifted to right field. Boone does a little dance, shades the sun, and makes the catch to end what was a tough second inning for the Sooners as Duke gets on the board first. But this offseason, this postseason, Oklahoma has responded when the other team lands a punch. To the bottom of the second we go. Sooner Softball presented by Love's Travel Stops, and welcome aboard to our Women's College World Series presenting sponsor Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma. With DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. A solo home run in the top of the second inning from Francesca Freelich has given Duke a 1-zip lead as Alyssa Brito will lead things off for the Sooners.
You already touched on it, Plank. One thing this team has done well in postseason is answer back. And I feel like that's something that was missing down the stretch of the Big 12, right? So, big spot in the lineup, and that was a hack from Alyssa Brito as she swings through the first pitch she sees from Curd. But this team has done such a good job of not allowing the opponent to keep momentum for long.
Agreed. Brito's a .406 hitter. First team All-American NFCA, and she takes the 0-1 pitch high, 1 ball, 1 strike. You name it, Brito has excelled at it so far this season. For the Tustin, California product. A 1-1 pitch to the right-handed hitting Brito from the lefty Curd is outside, 2 balls and a strike. Transferred in from Oregon. Hit .368 in the 2022 season with 14 home runs. .412 last year with 17 home runs. .406 with 18 home runs this year.
Yeah.
And lines one into center field for a base hit.
And that's the answer. Again, not allowing Duke to feel like they have the momentum for very long. And you could just see in Alyssa Brito's takes, she's looked like that all postseason. Every pitch that she sees, she looks aggressive. And even on her take, she looks like she's about to hammer something back up the middle.
She hit that hard. Here's Alina Torres. .333 for Torres. You hear the Sooner crowd chanting, "We want to hit," with Brito at first. Torres shows bunt, takes a ball, and a very unique defensive setup here from Duke. Tapia at first and Gold at third are in tight, but off the line, more towards the circle for both of them.
Trying to take away that alleyway between the circle.
1-0. Torres loops one into shallow center field, racing in and making and bobbling and catching it is Jennings. Smart play by Brito, who had to wait as Jennings reached out with the basket catch attempt. It popped out and she recovered to make the catch for the first out of the inning.
You could see Jennings, and it was a good piece of base running by Brito, because something like that, you've got to get out far and play the game. Am I far enough that I can still get back? And you could just see Jennings trying to make that play and transfer quickly. That would have been a little tight at first base, though. But
here's Pickering. First pitch way inside, ball 1. It's been a tradition and an honor all season long to hear from Cassidy's grandparents, who have been tuned in all year out in Willow Creek, Montana. They've checked in, so they're watching their granddaughter as she takes a big hat, fouls it back. Here's our ball. Thought we had a chance there, Cassidy. Thought we had a chance. Pickering's numbers jaw-dropping, and she's been fantastic so far in the postseason. for Oklahoma. In fact, her and Ella Parker have been quite the 1-2 freshman punch.
I mean, you go back to the regional, they led the charge for this offense. Between them and Tiare Jennings, this offense has just rolled.
Pickering takes the 1-1 high, 2 balls and a strike. Along with DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. Sooners down 1-0, bottom of the second inning. Runner at first, 1 away. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Pickering. Ooh, called strike on the inside edge. .583 average so far for Pickering in the postseason, with 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in.
Not a freshman anymore.
Pretty good. Pretty good. 2-2 count here. Curd rocks, fires, line drive, right center field. It's trouble. It's down. Cut off before it gets to the wall by Jennings. Patty Gasso will hold up. Alyssa Brito at third. First and third, 1 out on an absolute rocket to right center field. And Jennings did a fantastic job in center, cutting it off and not allowing Brito to score.
What a play by Deanna Jennings in center field. I mean, the angle, I can't wait. If you're watching this on TV as well, watch the angle. It is outrageous that she kept this ball off the wall. And I was thinking that Brito was going to score easily from first base. What a play from Jennings. But gotta love, Pickering just continues to do what she's done all postseason, making it look easy in her first at bat at the Women's College World Series.
Time here as Marissa Young is going to make a trek out to the circle. She calls the pitches for Michigan. And she's having a talk with her sophomore hurler. Everyone in the infield joins as Riley Boone will step to the plate with runners at first and third and 1 out.
So many options. So many options. We could see a squeeze. We could see a safety. We could see a little chop. Riley Boone could hit a double in the gap. I mean, take your pick. But I love this inning that we're seeing the production come out of the bottom half of the lineup. We said it, I think it was in the Super Play, and we've seen the same of Torres, Pickering, Boone, and Sanders today in the 9. But if they get moving, it makes the bottom half of this lineup absolutely filthy.
Boone digs in from the left side of the plate. Infield is in tight. First pitch off to second goes Pickering. She stops and will just walk to second base without a throw from Torres. They gave her the bag. Second and third takes away at least the routine double play. And it's a strike to Boone with that infield in tight. Second and third, 1 out. Deep in the box for Boone. She swings and loops it towards the left field line. Foul. Just out of the reach of the charging left fielder Burgess. And Baker from short was trying to race out. Couldn't get there.
Curd ahead 0-2. We haven't seen her be in this position too much in this game. Really want to see Riley Boone shorten up and get something she can handle to try to get a job done.
Big pitch here, the 0-2. Hard hit to short. Brito breaks for the plate. They've got her in a rundown. They'll fake the throw. They missed the tag on Brito. She heads home. No, they're going to call her out. They're going to call her out. They're going to say the tag. The home plate umpire made the call. Patty Gasso is arguing right now with Aaron Peterson. Now she's bringing in Robbie Guest, the third base umpire. But they're going to call Brito out on the tag.
So had they not called Brito out on the tag, Coach was going to try for obstruction at the plate. And you could see Curd, I mean, she was covering the entire plate. And she very well would have gotten it.
Now you need a 2-out hit from Sydney Sanders. It looked like that was the plan all along. Hey, if it's hit to the left side, you go.
Yeah. And that's something that's practiced. Because, again, you're putting the pressure on the defense.
That's right.
Instead of letting it be a routine play to first base.
First pitch, Sid takes a ball high. Jada Coleman waits on deck. The Sooners trying to get something in what has been a rebound inning, down 1-0. With runners at second and third and 2 outs, Sanders has struggled this season. Here's the 1-0, and she had a cut, fouled it back, strike one. Oh, did she have a cut?
That's a good hack. I will say this. We haven't necessarily, I mean, we've seen a couple things get squared up. 2 hits so far for the Sooners, but they're not getting cheated on their swings. I mean, you can see up and down, seeing the ball pretty well. Just a matter of time, they say, Plank.
It's inevitable. As the 1-1 misses high, 2-1. Boone at second, Pickering at third. See who they officially gave they just ruled
fielder's choice.
Yeah. See, they gave it the tag right out of the baseline.
Yeah.
Sanders takes strike 2 on a good pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 Duke. The Duke fans behind that first base dugout stand, blue pom-poms waving. As the 2-2 pitch from Curd heads home. Up high, ball 3. Full count. Curd toes the rubber with her left foot. Spins the ball against her thigh. Big, deep breath as the lefty cocks, rocks, and fires the 3-2 pitch. Line drive right at the second baseman, Vega, who makes the catch. The inning is over. The Sooners have stranded 3 through 2. And it looks good, but I'm telling you right now, there's some threatening clouds around the stadium. Everyone tells us, though, we're good to go. And, DJ, the Sooners got to get going here, down 1-0 in the third.
Well, this is a big spot for Kelly Maxwell. This is rolled back over to the top of the order. Jennings, Davidson, Vega, that's the big-time table setters for this Blue Devil offense. I'm going to go back to my key. Maxwell has got to work ahead. We saw it be an issue in the second inning. She cannot afford to put anyone in the top half of this order on base.
Deanna Jennings leads things off and takes strike 1. Our buddy Steve Braun is checked in during a weather delay from the D3 National Championship that's going on right now. Shouts out to our buddy Steve. Jerry Isbell is checked in. Jennings, swings and misses, and looks like her Evo shield popped out, right?
When I saw it spinning, all I saw was yellow. Yes, I thought it was the ball.
I thought she had Roy Hobbs the ball.
Yes, same. Pick me out a winner, Bobby.
The Savoy Special. It's an 0-2 count. This is a key piece to keep off base. Yeah, it was her Evo shield that popped right out of her wristband. There's ball 1 high.
Gotta love, though, Maxwell on top in a pitcher's count against Jennings. A ball and 2 strikes. This is the spot she needs to be in so she can open up her arsenal a little bit and throw a pitcher's pitch.
Ball and 2 strikes. Got her. Froze her. Cold strike 3 on the outer edge. 4th strikeout of the game for Kelly Maxwell. 2nd of Jennings. There's 1 away. What's up to Julie Bitterman, who has us tuned in? Larissa is tuned in from Magens Bay and St. Thomas, along with Eric Holquin. Shouts out, as always, to Ellie Beecham and her friend Olivia, who are tuned in. I believe that's in the Riverbend area. First pitch to Claire Davidson. The All-American is low and away for ball 1. Davidson flied out to center field her last time up. .437 average on the season for Davidson. 18 home runs to go along with it. She lines one right to Alina Torres, and quickly there's 2 away in the third. And I say lined it, more of a looper.
Good pitch from Maxwell. Coming in on the hands. Love to see what she's doing to the top half of this lineup.
Here's Amina Vega. She's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. It's a great point, DJ.
Well, and it's also, too, you think about, you've got 3 lefties at the top here, right? So not just any slouch left-handed hitters. I mean, 3 of the best in the country. You got All-Americans and people hitting well over 400.
First pitch swinging, sky to left field. Pickering all the time in the world to make the catch, and that's as quick of a 1-2-3 inning as you can have. 1-0, Duke leads Oklahoma. No team has won 4 championships in a row. UCLA, the only other team to win 3 straight, 1989, 1988, 1989, and 1990. Sooners are looking for their 8th title, their 6th in the last 8 years, but they'll have to come from behind to do it. But we're pumped you guys are tuned in with us, like Papa Wheelie and Choctaw. Steve is in Brandon, Mississippi. Chris O'Neill, third inning check-in from Connecticut. How about David in Mustang, who is in Bourges, France today? Cuomo J is headed back to Norman. Vince, Paula, and Rudy all checking in Norman. Jim's at Lake of the Arcs, Missouri. Joe's in Goldsby today. How about Hal? Hal has us tuned in Phillipsburg, Montana. Larry and Danita Higgs are in Prague, Oklahoma. Michael's in Lake of the Ozarks, and Randy in Auckland, New Zealand. Jada Coleman will lead things off for the Sooners in the bottom of the third. 0 for 1 with a deep fly out to center field, and she takes strike one. The presenting sponsor of the Women's College World Series on the Sooner Sports Network is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma, connecting Oklahomans to quality health care. Here's the 0-1 pitch to the Sooner center fielder. Good swing, good cut, base hit. Back up the middle by Jada. Let's go.
You can just see Jada seeing the ball well. Even in her first at bat to open this ball game, struck it well to center field. Same thing, lining it right back where it came from. Gotta love it.
Here's Tiare. She first pitch swinging, flied out to center field, and are we going to see a pitching change already?
We talked about this during the delay plank that we may see Duke get a little bit cute with their pitching, and they've got a pretty deep staff, and it looks like we're going to see a change here.
Marissa Young makes the struts out to the circle, and despite the fact that it's a 1-0 game as they head to the airport after covering the SEC Spring Media Days.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. Learned a lot.
Not a bad gig.
Learned a lot. Oklahoma, Texas kicking off at 2:30. And how about the scoop from Sooner Scoop's George Stoya? Prime time for OU in its first two games at home, then a 2:30 kick against Tulane. My man Cale Gundy has checked in from Moore.
Hey, Cale.
He's trying to hope to see if Coach could get out here this week. He said he's going to try to. Mike's in Marlow. Chris Emerson up in rainy Jinx, Oklahoma. Joe Fournier all synced up in Pensacola. Joseph Ledford and Stormy McAllister. Stan the man in Ada. Joel in Rogersville, Tennessee. Sooner Judy in Silver City. Jalen's driving from Norman to Waco. Dan's got us tuned in Richland Springs, Texas. There's my man Evan. Galen Kitch. Kevin's at Glenpool, and Tina Kay in Edmond. I don't know why I'm pointing. I'll tell you why. Because the uniqueness of Jayla Wright's motion as Tiare digs in. Wright has been fantastic so far on the season. 153 innings and an ERA of just 1.28. She points her glove towards first base and throws a strike on the first pitch from the righty.
She's been really effective, and I think part of the game plan coming from Duke, Marissa Young, and their coaching staff is all along they told Young you're coming into this game. Or excuse me, they told Wright you're coming into this game.
I think I called her Young. Good hard pitch. I mean, that thing had some juice, but missed outside. 69 miles an hour.
Yeah, she's got good velo, and on top of that, she keeps the ball down, which can be tough at times. I'm interested to see how effectively she can change speeds, though. She's kind of got that unorthodox wind-up.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Good cut by Jennings, fouled it away. So Curd will be responsible for the runner at first, obviously. But now that Jayla Wright is in the game, let's see how long she's here. 1.28 ERA. Opponents hitting just 174 against her. 19-2 on the season. Has 2 saves, 187 strikeouts to just 48 walks. And our pitching change is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway. This should be a pitch clock violation. Yep. It is not. I don't even see the clock. Ground ball down the third baseline, foul.
Clock's out. It took me a minute to find out. I've gotten so used to looking at the Jumbotron. It's out in right field.
Oh, okay.
She had 2 seconds, but she tried to get it reset.
Now, right center field. Now, the first time, we've talked about this a few times if you've been with us all year long. When we came here for the 2 regular season games, they had the pitch clock up the left field hill, up the top of the stairs there. It's a 1-2 count to Tiare Jennings. Pitch is low. Good job by Torres to block it. 2-2.
And that's tough. I mean, that pitch coming in with upper 60s, touching 70 on the gun at times. But again, we're yet to see Wright change speeds. It's not necessarily her go-to or her forte, but she's going to have to if she wants to stay in this game.
2-2. Big cut. Swing and a miss. One away. She got Jennings, who's 0 for 2, and here's Ella Parker.
Just on a curveball, low and away, and you could just see it wasn't what Jennings was looking for.
Here's Ella Parker. Walked her last time up. 1-0 Sooners trail it. They've out-hit Duke 3-1. Of course, the only Duke hit was the solo home run by Freelick in the second. One away for Parker. First pitch, check swing, ball low. We owe you a station ID. We'll bring it to you after Parker's at bat. They check with a third base umpire who said strike. Patty Gasso can't believe it. I can't either.
That's not be better.
Patty is wearing out the third base umpire who is not even looking at her.
Rightfully so. I think the words be better probably came out of her mouth.
0-1, check swing on a pitch low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Should go on that?
Probably. Ask him.
A ball and a strike. Coleman at first after the leadoff single. We've had a pitching change and now a strikeout of Jennings. Here's the 1-1 to Parker. Low and away, 2-1. Brooke Loper has checked in. Also good to see Whitley Simmons tuned in right now. They cannot see the clock on TV either. Thank you, Whitley. Our man Tim tuned in while he's fishing on Lake Eufaula. At glove point to first. 2-1 is bounced foul. She is not getting this pitch off in time.
No, and Plank, correct me if I'm wrong. It's not that you're on the rubber with your hands together. You actually have
to be in your motion.
Yes. So that pitch clock at that point was at 1 and had expired at the point that she had started to drive off the rubber. I mean, because she stands on the rubber a long time. She's got the glove point.
2-2, check swing on a pitch. They're going to call that a strike now.
That was closer than the first one.
I thought so too. It's interesting because I talked to Jayla Wright yesterday as part of our Westwood One responsibilities, and she said this year the pitch clock has been a struggle for her. She's been called for several violations.
And it's going to happen in this game. And if it doesn't, that's a travesty.
3-2, got her swinging. Coleman's off to second base. She'll slide in ahead of the tag and take the bag. But Parker strikes out, and there's a runner in scoring position for Kinsey Hansen, though it comes with 2 outs.
You could just see back-to-back at-bats. We saw something very similar in the sequence to Tiare Jennings. Getting that wave on the outer half on a screwball that just continued to break away from Parker, and it just fell off the table. I called it a screwball, more of a drop ball. Big time on Jada Coleman. Great jump, getting in scoring position. That's the type of things that the Sooners are going to need to have because the sticks have not been hot so far.
Hansen swings and drills one deep to left field. Get out of here, Bull. It's a 2-run home run that gives the Sooners a 2-1 lead on a blast for the captain who asks for noise, and the Sooner fans bring it. Flex on him, K9. She crushed one out of here, and just like that, it's 2-1 Sooners.
And that is how you change a ball game. Back-to-back strikeouts going through 2 of the best hitters in this lineup. And you could see Hansen get in the box, looking for one pitch and getting rid of it. And a little pitch off speed only came through in the 50s. Again, the off speed coming from right is not outstanding, and Kinsey Hansen just showed it.
Here's Alyssa Brito, singled her last time up, was thrown out at home. 2-1 Sooners. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's the first pitch to the right-handed hitting third baseman. It's a little bit low, ball 1.
Talk about putting runs on the board. but I think in the way that OU's done it in this inning, Duke made the pitching change to go to the ACC Pitcher of the Year. If you get to right, you kind of back Duke into a corner.
Brito takes ball 2 on a pitch that looked pretty good. 2 balls and no strikes. Knight walks to the back of the circle. Sooners get the big hit they need. They've out-hit Duke 4-1 and now have outscored them 2-1. Let's see if they can go with 2. Good hitters count here for Brito. The 2-0 is hit hard but foul. A little bit out in front of it. 68. She was out in front of a pitch at 68 miles an hour. That's something.
It's a good problem to have, I
guess. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 Sooners on a bomb from K9. And anytime, this is what's so frustrating about the action clock. Anytime it gets close and a pitcher is struggling, they throw their hands up and they give them time.
Well, if that's what you're going to do, get rid of the pitch clock. Then it's defeating the purpose of even having it.
2 balls and a strike to Brito. Good hitters count here. Takes ball 3 low.
Those same active takes. I talked about it in Brito's first at bat when she lined a pitch right back up the middle, but just active takes. You can just see, doesn't matter who she's facing, she's seeing the ball well.
3-1. Oh, she had a cut that shot back off the shin protector of Torres. You can hear the crack.
Now, I would be curious, too, if an umpire, because in my mind, emotion does not start until you bring your hands together. But I feel like part of the reason Wright has struggled with the pitch clock is her motion starts when she points her glove out, right? And that takes up 3 seconds.
3-2, ripped down the left field line. Just foul. Brito takes a hop and claps her hands in frustration as she was halfway down the first base line. That ball was a rocket ship. 2-1 Sooners on a 2-run home run from Kinsey Hansen. Well, it's got to be a big exhale if you're Kelly Maxwell, too.
And it was good to see Maxwell have a good top half of this inning.
3-2 pitch to Brito, ball 4. Brito's going to make some people on the internet mad because she celebrated her walk.
How dare she? How dare she?
Sooners put a runner on with 2 outs for Alina Torres. She looped one to shallow center field that Jennings made a heck of a play on.
Love the 2-out walk. And Hansen obviously with the 2-out bomb, but all postseason this offense has been electric with 2 outs.
Time is called for both the pitcher. I mean, the pitch clock was the action clock was at 0. Wright is claiming that she's having issues with her pitch watch. No reason to believe she isn't.
Well, she just got a new one. So if she's still saying it's an issue, then they need to quit giving her time.
Tapia gave her watch from over at first base. Here's the first pitch to the Sooners' second baseman, Torres, in for a strike. Alina last year hit 500 in the Women's College World Series, had a low-key solid World Series for the Sooners. So many clutch hits. Or is it really was one of the more offensively challenged World Series runs for the Sooners after their run rule win over Tennessee. That's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tennessee not back this year. UCLA is after their frustration. That's who awaits the winner Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock after UCLA beat Bama 4-1. Pitch clock is at 0 again. And that ball is hammered deep to left center field. It is gone. It's gone. Alina Torres with a 2-run shot that got out of here in a hurry. And just like that, it's 4-1 Sooners. This place is absolutely electric right now. And Alina Torres set it off.
Doing it all with 2 outs. And Torres just went down to get a pitch and golfed it out of here. Go ahead and let Ray run the clock all the way down if we're just going to tee off. Go ahead.
Well, you've got to go back to the decision to go with Jayla Wright here, too. I mean, it was one hit that the Sooners had to start this inning, and Marissa Young thought, all right, I got to get Curd out of there. They go to the ACC Pitcher of the Year, and the Sooners have absolutely eaten her up.
And I get it. I mean, I get it. Going with the senior, going with, in theory, what should be kind of a calming force for your entire team, right? You go with what's considered, quote unquote, your ace. Although Curd has been throwing well. We saw her in the Columbia Super. But it's one of those decisions that Marissa Young is going to be questioning of, did I overthink this? And we talked a lot about it playing during the rain delay of teams get so almost trying to be too cute with their pitching staff instead of just going with what's working or going with matchups.
They got the softball to Alina's dad, mom, who are sitting down with the family section here. Just above the third base dugout. 4-1 Sooners. Here's Cassidy Pickering. First pitch to Pickering is a little bit up and out, ball 1. Looking down in that Sooner rooting section, I can't help but notice my man Danny Stutzman.
Like ultimate hype man?
Yeah, ultimate hype man. Danny Stutzman down there along with Billy Bowman. See Gavin Sawchuk as well. Ooh, that's a really tough strike call. Pitch that looked a little low and away. Ball and a strike. Several, of course, of the Sooner standouts from World Series past. Representing OU softball in that front row, Jocelyn Allo is here. Shay Knighton, how about that?
Yeah.
Sitting front row with Poppy. Pickering takes ball 2 and a pitch that was in the exact same place.
It's a good take.
2 balls and a strike.
I think the thing that's tough, though, is we've seen Kelly Maxwell getting that call all game as well. But I'm gonna say it again. If that's a strike, Kelly Maxwell needs to throw it there all day long.
2 balls and a strike, 4-1 Sooners. Here's the pitch to Pickering. There's a strike. Good pitch, 2-2. See Nicole Mendez down there. Alex Storacco. Is that Kaylee Clifton sneaking out of work?
Cece's here. Throwing her under the bus, sneaking out of work.
Grace Lyons. Good group. Good group. The 2-2 to Pickering. She had a cut, fouled it off. 1-0 heading into this inning. Marissa Young makes a pitching change after a leadoff single from Jada Coleman. And from that point forward, Oklahoma has not stopped. 2-run home run from K9. 2-run home run from Alina Torres. And it's 4-1 Sooners.
And something as soon as Wright entered this game that I kind of mentioned was she throws hard, but she struggles changing speeds, and I think the Sooners are sitting on 1 speed, and you can't allow anybody to sit even on 70.
2-2, swings, bounces it towards third. It's played by Baker. It's short. It got past the diving Gold, but throws a strike to get Pickering at first, and that'll do it. But what a half inning it was for the Sooners. Oklahoma puts 4 runs on the board, a pair of 2-run home runs, 1 from Hansen, 1 from Pickering. Home runs this season are brought to you by the dedicated people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas. We head to the 4th. It's a new feeling, a new attitude, a new energy. It's 4-1 Sooners. This is Sooner Softball. From to Sooner Softball, presented by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway, and the presenting sponsor of the Women's College World Series on the Sooner Sports Network is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma, connecting Oklahomans to quality health care. Our friend Wheelchair Mama tuned in Mount Vernon, Illinois. Kendall's got us up from Riley Boone country. That would be Owasso. Joe Bob Hackney driving through Georgia, tuned in today. I saw our buddy Mark Worley had tuned in. Trey Linda Kerr today. And how about Mark Montgomery in Santa Fe, New Mexico? Uh-oh. Okay, that scared me for a moment. They had an official announcement for a moment here, and I did go into fight or flight based on the way the clouds look and the weather today. but they just are saying that after the 6 o'clock game on Saturday night, they're going to let the kids run the bases.
Yes.
All right, exhale. Mark Montgomery in Santa Fe, Doug Hamilton down in Hockley, Texas. Can't thank you guys enough for being tuned in all season long and sticking with us here on the Sooner Sports Network. It's been a fun one. Now it's fun. Oklahoma up 4-1. What's the key here now for Kelly Maxwell as she works through the second time through the lineup, and Francisca Freelick, who homered off her last time up?
Work ahead. As that pitch misses upstairs for ball one. Work ahead, and that's been the only blemish for Maxwell in this game. Obviously giving up the home run back in the second to Freelick, but it was in a 3-1 count. A pair of walks in that same inning. So it's either been really efficient, as that pitch misses upstairs as well, but we're seeing Duke only put good swings on the ball when they're in hitters' counts. And that's just the name of the game. We said it in the pregame of Maxwell needing to work ahead. So important that she throws a quality location here, 2 balls and no strikes.
Ball 3 misses high.
I have a pet peeve, and I'm not going to say it unless I have to. When your team puts up runs,
don't walk the leadoff hitter.
Don't walk the leadoff hitter. Get the leadoff out of the inning. You've heard me say it a million times. You probably knew what I was going to say, but it's don't walk the leadoff hitter and find a way to get that first out.
There's that pitch looked like it missed. Maybe a little bit up. Our replay monitor in here is delayed. So after the Sooners put 4 on the board to take a 4-1 lead, Maxwell walks the leadoff hitter, her third walk of the game. Let's see where that 3-0 pitch was from Maxwell.
It looked a little elevated.
Yeah, not much though.
But
give Freelick some credit. She makes that strike zone really small. Here's Mia Burgess, strikeout victim her last time up. That's now 5 straight balls to start the 4th inning by Kelly Maxwell. Come on, Kelly.
And I think I talk so much about, as Kinsey Hansen goes out to have a chat with Maxwell, but I talk so much about working ahead to be able to throw pitchers pitches, but you've got to have tight misses to be able to get those borderline pitch calls. As much as it pains me to say it, I believe you don't get the borderline call if you haven't consistently been around the zone, and we haven't necessarily seen Maxwell consistently have tight misses. We've seen pretty big misses.
Timeout was called there after the trip to the circle. Hansen had walked out to chat with Kelly Maxwell, and they tried to get a meeting quickly over at third base with
this thing weighs a lot.
Mia Burgess, and they immediately, the home plate umpire, Aaron Peterson, pointed over and said, no, that's your timeout. Interesting. Third base, Brito, in tight. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. And the cards go flying out of the wristband for Mia Burgess. Strikeout victim her last time up. A lot of gold in the on-deck circle helps to retrieve some of those. Ooh, there's a pitch that misses low and away on the 1-1, 2 balls and a strike.
And that's tough because regardless of if it truly is a strike or not, we've seen it be a strike pretty much all game on both sides of the ball. You even go back to Burgess's first at bat. She got K'd looking on a pitch that far off the plate.
There's a bouncer to the right side, charged by Torres. She'll go to second to get the lead runner. Could she have tagged her?
No, but it was interesting because of Freelick's route to the bag. It was a high hop, and really, Alina Torres has made 2 really good plays in this ball game, but you could see Freelick kind of go around her and even slow down a little bit going into second base, but Torres has been quietly big time defensively in this ball game.
That was a big time play for the first out of the inning. Runner stays at first, though. This time it's traded out. It's Burgess. And the first strike to Anna Gold is a strike. Gold was a strikeout victim her last time up. 4-1 Sooners. We're in the top of the 4th inning. 2-run homer from Hansen, 2-run homer from Torres. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Kelly Maxwell. Popped up. Right field. Boone calls off everyone to make the catch, and there's quickly 2 away.
Good pitches.
Hey, a couple of others I wanted to fit in under the wire here. Shouts out to my man Gunny, who's in Porter. Andrew Smith has us up in New Jersey. Brandon Jacks, the mayor of Medill, is tuned in. Larry and the St. Pete Sooner did. Miss Jane Jetson in Dallas. And how about Brittany Young from Turks and Caicos?
Wow.
Caicos? Anyway, look at that. She showed the drinks with a piece of fruit and a straw. First pitch to Kelly Torres is outside. Ball one. Torres, her last time up, walked and was stranded at second in the second.
My mom is listening as well. From the Riverbend, Charlotte Mathis.
Crafton, baby. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first, 2 away. Here's the pitch for Maxwell. Way outside, and another good job by Hanson. Boy, when she misses, she misses.
Yeah, they've been big, and I don't like it as a former pitcher. Again, it's things you notice when you're throwing. You feel it and kind of know that there's an adjustment that needs to be made when you're missing pitches that wide.
The 2-0, I mean, it hit her. And it wasn't even close again.
And it's always tough for us playing to kind of see the bullpen. I would imagine we've got quite a bit of movement going on just for the simple fact of you're playing with fire when you've got those huge misses like that.
And you've got the tying run coming to the plate in Kelly Torres. Or, pardon me, in Jada Baker. Torres stands at first after getting hit by a pitch. And Jen Roach just saw the same thing you did and wants to chat with her starting pitcher. What do you think the message is here?
Let your defense work, right? I mean, we've seen some big strikeouts from Maxwell. She's got 3 in this game so far, but she's also got 4 free passes. And we heard Coach Gasso talk about it in the pregame of to go deep in the Women's College World Series. Your staff has got to keep the ball in the yard and limit your free passes. We've seen both of those things here today. With that, I don't necessarily feel like Maxwell is throwing awful, right? She's not throwing awfully, but it just doesn't look easy. It looks labored. And again, those huge misses they're not setting anything up, right? A big miss in the other batter's box or in the dirt is not setting up necessarily another pitch when you're already behind. So best thing for Maxwell right now, though, is she's pitching with a lead. So really need to see her work a couple things out.
Meetings are over. Baker digs back in. First and second, 2 outs. Ball 1 low. Yeah, we've got a weird angle for the pin, don't we? We can't see anything down there. I would assume that it's Nicole May, who has been lights out of the pin this season. 1 ball and no strikes. There's ball 2 inside. Man, she's laboring right now. Miss Abrito barks towards the circle. Words of encouragement. Maxwell takes that long walk to the back of the circle. 10 on the action clock as she toes the rubber and stares in. Pitch. Ball 3. My goodness.
And I think what is interesting about this, too, she's struggling at the bottom half of the lineup, right? I mean, she's taking care of the top 3 hitters in their lineup both times through and made it look pretty effortless. But she's really having a hard time finding the zone against the bottom half.
There we go. Strike 1.
I like that it's a strike. I don't like that it looked guided.
Yeah, it really did.
I mean, you could see the velocity drop down.
3 balls and 1 strike. It's a 4-1 Sooner lead, but this is the tying run after OU put 4 on the board in the third. Ball 4 on a pitch that missed low. Bases loaded for Giselle Tapia. I mean, you got to go to the pin here, DJ?
You got to think about it real hard. And I think we may be seeing the day for Maxwell. But 9-hole in Tapia, she flew out her first at bat. She's a sub 300 hitter, but I think, like you said, Plank, that's it.
Can't risk it. With this being the second trip to the circle by a Sooner coach, this means that either Kelly Maxwell is coming out of the game or Patty Gasso is getting kicked out of it.
The latter would be more entertaining.
Would that be something? 2016, we were in Fullerton for a series. Sooners had a tough night. They lost to Cal State Fullerton. And we were inside a press box, and both Both radio booths were inside the room. Oh, it's going to be Kirsten Deal they'll go to in the lefty-lefty matchup. How about that? As the Love's travel stop pitching change. But following up on that story, so Kirsten Deal will be called upon in a big situation for the Sooners. Oklahoma up 4-1. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. After a walk to Freelick to start the inning, Burgess grounded into a fielder's choice on a heck of a play from Torres. Gold flew out, and then Kelly Torres was hit by a pitch, and Jada Baker walked. So here's Giselle Tapia. The lefty flied out to right. Big spot for Kirsten Deal. 1.67 ERA, 12-1 on the season. 64 strikeouts, 18 walks. First pitch, ball 1 high.
And Deal, I don't think Deal saw any time in the Women's College World Series last year.
Nope.
Am I correct in saying that? So
double check. I don't think she did. Not at least in a pressure situation like this.
So important for the sophomore just to get in and not try to make the moment bigger than it is.
There's a strike right on the inside edge.
It's tough. There's adrenaline. There's all of these different moving parts coming out of the bullpen with bases loaded at the Women's College World Series as a sophomore in your first pitches. Love the confidence.
Here's the 1-1. Fouled back on a pitch that was a little bit in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Deal did get a third of an inning against Tennessee. She threw 4 pitches, and the Sooners were up 9-0.
Okay.
A much different situation here. Bases loaded, 4-1 game. Sooners lead it. Deal with a 1-2 pitch to the 9-hole hitter Tapia. The lefty rocks, fires a little bit up.
It's a good spot.
2-2.
On the outer half, you could see Tapia thought about it.
Do not want a 3-2 count.
No.
Don't want that runner at second base or even at first getting a jump start on anything in the gap.
Good time for a little curveball off the plate.
2-2 is looped into shallow center field. Coleman racing, diving, you bet! Oh my goodness, what a catch by Jada Coleman. Full send from Coleman. Lunges and takes away, at the very least, a 1 or 2 run scoring hit. And Oklahoma's defense flexes its muscles again.
Throw strikes and use your defense. It's one of the best in the country.
Wow. Put a star by that. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 4-1 Sooners. This is Sooners softball from Learfield. Is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma, connecting Oklahomans to quality health care. With DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. 4-1 Sooners, and Patty Gasso talks about it a lot. Give your defense a chance to make a play. Kirsten Deal did, and what a play it was from Jada Coleman.
I mean, that is... People talk so much. We've talked so much about the offense and everything that this team has done offensively, and you can't not talk OU softball without talking about the sticks, right? But these 3 national championships in the last 3 years have come because of how good this defense is. Mm-hmm. I mean, it has. They take runs off the board for their pitchers, and I mean, Jada Coleman, it was no doubt. I could kind of see it looping in. I'm like, Jada's going to catch that. And that is not a normal thing. It's not. And the fact that this defense can do what it does makes it even more important for your pitchers in the circle to throw strikes and give your defense a chance.
8-9-1 hitters for the Sooners. Riley Boone will lead things off. She reached on a fielder's choice her last time up. Mid-inning interview with Marissa Young is over. And Boone has been an igniter in the Women's College World Series. Sooners feel a little uncomfortable with a 4-1 lead after that top half of the 4th, and the first pitch is a fairly hard bunt. The throw is not in time down the third baseline. Charged in hard. Heck of a play made by Gold, but Boone beat it out. And part of it might have been Vega getting over a little bit slow from first base.
And I was half expecting, I'm curious to watch it on the replay, I was half expecting Gold to try to let it go foul because it kind of had that screwball spin on it. But Riley Boone, you just said it, Blank, has been a spark.
I think you're right. I think that would have gone foul if she let it play. I'm happy she didn't.
Me too.
Here's Sid Sanders. Sanders 0 for 1. Looped one to second. The pitch clock is at 0. Finally, we get the call. Ball 1. The action clock had been 0 for long enough for the Sooner fans to start cheering about it. And for the first time today, Robbie Guest noticed it. Wake up over there, dude. You got a job to do.
He's too busy calling check swings strikes. Well, Coach Gasso was all over it. I mean, she pointed immediately.
Boy, Sid can sit on something here now. 1-0, and she does. And she launches one deep to left field. See you later. Sid Sanders pumps her fist in the air, leaves the yard with a 2-run bomb to make it 6-1 Sooners. Oh, she is fired up as she sails into home plate. It's a 3-homer day for the Sooners, and they are putting some separation between themselves and the Blue Devils.
And as soon as Wright entered this game, I'm going to say it again, she does not change speeds extremely well, and the Sooners have exposed it. It's been BP off of a 70-mile-an-hour pitching machine at this point. And Wright is a tremendous pitcher. But this offense does so well when they only have to sit one speed. And if you're Duke, you got to think about getting Wright out of this ballgame.
And on cue, DJ Sanchez, Marissa Young makes the trip to the circle. Boy, Sid Sanders has been in it, you guys. She has been the captain, unfortunately, of the struggle bus this season. And to see that moment for her and the pure joy when she was rounding first base halfway to second, that fist pump in the air for the first home run that Sid Sanders has hit since April 16th when she hit a grand slam here against Tulsa. Sid Sanders finally hits her 14th home run of the season, and it's 6-1 Sooners, and Duke will go to the pin, its third pitcher of the day.
I think what's been so cool for Sanders is we've always felt like it's been so close. And she has such a smooth swing. She has such great power. It's just seeing it all click. And we've seen it at times in this postseason. But that's why Coach Gasso keeps putting her back in this lineup. I mean, it's so close all the time.
I say it a lot, and I don't know if anyone cares to listen to me. But I wasn't a big batting practice guy early in the season just because of the way that the schedules worked out. But as the season progressed and getting our pregame interview with Coach, I'm able to watch the team a lot in the cages and able to watch them a lot in batting practice. And when I tell you no one is consistently dropping bombs like Sid Sanders, I'm telling you, nobody is hitting the ball harder. And it's good to see it pay off here in Oklahoma City. Well, what do we know about Lily Walker, who will be called upon here, the lefty? 12-1 on the season, 61 2/3 of an inning, 39 strikeouts, 11 walks. She came on late in that 7th inning against Missouri and really struggled in the Super Regional. But Oklahoma will look to pepper her here with the top of the lineup. Pitching changes brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. First pitch to Jada Coleman is a ball low. And the third home run of the game. Home runs this year brought to you by the dedicated people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas.
And Walker doesn't have the same velocity that you see from Wright or even Curd, but she keeps the ball down. Has a nice little drop ball.
1-0 is outside, 2-0. Why would you not go back to Curd here?
I was hoping you would ask that question because I don't know. I guess at this point, too, you're down 6-1 when you only have one hit on the board. And you just left bases loaded. A little bit of you has to start playing for the loser's bracket.
2-0 is ball three.
I hate to say that. Not saying just because you're down in a game in the 5th, or excuse me, I guess the bottom of the 4th means that the game's over. It's not. But I think part of you has to start playing long game a little bit until your sticks come to life. If your sticks start coming, then maybe you bring Curd back in. But right now, one lone hit.
3-0 is a strike. Jada thought it was ball 4 and started to toss the bat. Singled, scored a run in the 3rd. She is 1 for 2 on the day. I told you during that last break, let's not lose sight of how big that single was in the 3rd. really seemed to jumpstart things for Oklahoma. Here's the 3-1 to Jada. She swings and hammers one deep to center field. Racing back, though, is Jennings to make the catch just short of the wall. And there's one away on a long fly ball out from Coleman that she thought was out of here.
You want to know how well Jada Coleman's seen the ball? 3 at-bats in this game today. Every single one has been a line shot to dead center field. Talk about on time.
The University of Oklahoma and Sooner Sports Properties would like to thank our concession partners, Anheuser-Busch, Fletcher's Original Corny Dogs, Nashbird, Coca-Cola, The Baked Bear, Community Coffee, Taco Mayo, Boomerang Diner, Schwab Meat, and Uber Eats. Tough day so far for Tiare Jennings. She's 0 for 2. First pitch hits her. And she lets out a yell as she turns towards the Sooner dugout, tosses her Evo shield, and she'll head to first base.
At least she rolled into it.
She did. Sooner Softball also brought to you by SiriusXM. Comprehensive coverage of the college baseball and softball World Series. Tune to SiriusXM College Sports Radio. Channel 84, Channel 375. Get a free trial right now. SiriusXM.us/Big 12 Radio 2023. Here is Ella Parker. First pitch, lefty-lefty matchup is a little bit low, ball 1. I will say these pitches from Walker look pretty good from up here. Missing just a little bit low.
Well, and she kind of has, that pitch came in at 52 miles an hour. She's kind of got that loop. Doesn't throw as hard.
1-0 is got a little juice. Inside corner, strike 1. JT Gasso pops out of the Sooner dugout to whisper something to Coach Patty Gasso. And JT will moonwalk back towards his little area beyond the Sooner dugout. He and Ryan Wondrosik down there. The 1-1 pitch. Parker takes the ball low and in. Maybe just thinking strategy here. Maybe.
Yeah, I think also talking about potentially getting pinch hitters in. Getting some opportunities from some players that you think you might need as this Women's College World Series goes on.
2 balls and a strike to Parker. The runner at first is Jennings. Parker takes ball 3 low. Ella on the day is 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the third. She walked back in the first. Congratulations to Parker, 3rd-team All-American.
Yeah. Big time.
Absolutely big time. Oklahoma's first freshman All-American position player since Jada Coleman and Tiare Jennings in 2021. There's a strike on a pitch that looked like she took a little bit off, and now full count. We'll see if Jennings is on the move with just 1 out.
And when you talk about matchups, I'm going to be honest. Walker a little bit of a better matchup for this offense than Wright was. Because she can change speeds.
6-1 Sooners. The 3-2 pitch to Parker is ball 4. Coleman was indeed on the move on the Jennings was indeed on the move. A hit by pitch of Jennings, a walk to Ella Parker, and one swing of the bat from Kinsey Hansen could put us
your favorite place, Plank.
Run rule territory. Here is K9. Guess what she did her last time up? She homered. New pitcher, new look, though, with Walker, and I think you are 100% right, DJ. This is a little better matchup for Duke as K9 takes a strike on a pitch that looked a little bit low and in.
See a little bit of frustration from Coach Gasso on the strike zone. It's been a little inconsistent. I can handle that pitch being a strike, but it needs to be a strike every time, not every 5th batter.
Again, pitch clock gets down. The Duke player just steps off the rubber and gets a new.
Yeah.
And Coach Gasso is barking at the home plate.
As she should be. Again, the pitch clock is there for a reason. It's not to. I don't think that's necessarily. I know she's having a little bit of the conversation, but Macy a pinch runner here.
Yeah, she is. Maya Bland is going to jump in, and I think that was part of maybe what JT Gasso was saying. I thought at first Maya Bland was going to come in for Ella Parker at first. Indeed, she's going to run for Tiare Jennings at second. Everyone cheers for Jennings, who gives a very creative high five to Alyssa Brito as she jogs towards the dugout.
Well, and so much of this, too, for Maya Bland is to put her in this position.
Yep.
Right? Runner at second. We've seen her be a pinch runner nearly every game this season, but she hasn't done it yet at the Women's College World Series, so it's a good spot to do it.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to K9.
Ball.
Ball a little bit low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6 runs now on 7 hits for the Sooners. 3 of those have been home runs. Here comes the 1-1 pitch with runners at first and second. K9 waits on it, loops it towards left center field. It's down. Patty Gasso waving home. Maya Bland. She'll score without a throw. It's an RBI single from K9, and it's 7-1 Sooners.
Passing the bat. We saw it in the Super. This offense is back in a big way.
I still, for the life of me, will never understand the decision in the 3rd inning to go away from Curd when she was throwing so well. It might have been inevitable. The next batter might have hit a home run. But this Oklahoma offense has been different ever since, and we're going to have a pinch runner here.
And I do think it was a matter of time until this offense got to Curd, because you could see even some of the outs were struck well. So again, I understand the process. I understand the thought process, but at some point you can't overthink it. And I think that's a little bit, you know what though? That's part of what this offense makes you do.
First pitch to Brito is a strike. Home runs from Kinsey Hansen. Home runs from Sid Sanders and Alina Torres has the Sooners as a team at 113 home runs this season. Just 2 shy of the number the 2019 team hit. Brito pops one up on the infield. Gold calls for it, makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
I feel like that's the first defensive swing we've seen from Alyssa Brito in about a month.
Here's Alina Torres. All she did was homer her last time up.
Now batting for the Sooners, second baseman number 40.
Duke had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 3rd. In the 4th. In a 4-1 game at the time, the Sooners get out of it and just exploded ever since. First pitch strike to Alina Torres.
When we said it in the pregame before this game even started, get on top of Duke early. I mean, this is a team, they're relatively young. Their first Women's College World Series experience, and they're facing Oklahoma, who's used to this.
Torres swings and gets under one. That ball is skied, though, to right field. Davidson makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Sooners. And an explosive bottom of the 4th inning. Sooners put 3 runs on the board, a 2-run homer from Sid Sanders, and as we head to the 5th, Sooners 7, Duke 1. Jay Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. Our producer is Ray Klappmeyer back in the Learfield studios. He is flanked today by Deborah and Betty, who are helping him out back in Jeff City, and back to work for the Sooners with a 7-1 lead, and back to the circle for Kirsten Deal.
And I love that Deal is in this situation, able to breathe, a 6-run spot, but I like that we're going to see Deal go through this lineup starting at the top. So kind of taking this game over, getting some innings under her belt, but able to do it without having to really think about a tight game.
Deanna Jennings leads things off.
Oof. Whoa.
Called a ball inside. On a pretty good pitch to Jennings, who's 0 for 2. If there is one thing that has been incredible about Kelly Maxwell today was how she owned Jennings.
Yes.
0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. The 1-0 is bounced up the middle, cut off by Jennings, spins, throws. Are you kidding me? They got her at first. Oh my goodness, what a play by T.R.A. Jennings. Played the high hopper, spun, got her, and they're going to challenge this.
This is a national championship defense. I don't think it gets talked about enough. I mean, that is unreal against Jennings, who moves. But T.R.A. Jennings, I guess the Jennings on Jennings matchup, but it's about as tight as you can get. But what a play on the chop.
I will say this. They're reviewing it, and it's time for an official review brought to you by our buddy Noble McIntyre and McIntyre Law, the law firm you should turn to for all your personal injury needs.
Plank, I could have missed it. Was this challenged by Marissa Young, or was this?
Yes.
Okay.
She popped out right away. If
Okay.
and first of all, if it's a missed call, I mean, Megan Rabin could not have been more on top of it. Let's
But
see.
I think
I think
Yeah,
they got her.
out, yep.
Wow, bang, bang play at first, and they got her. Great stretch by Sid Sanders. I mean, they got her by the slimmest of margins.
Everything about it. The timing from Sid Sanders, stretching to the ball. Well, we see first basemen stretch all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't get much closer than that at first base. But there is one away, and the dangerous Deanna Jennings is 0 for 2 on the game. Here's Claire Davidson, who is also 0 for 2. 7-1 Sooners. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. Deal rocks and fires. Good pitch. Strike one. Let's go, Kirsten Deal, getting ahead on the count, something the Sooners have struggled with at times here today. No balls and a strike to Davidson. Hard hit ball, left field, down for a hit. Cut off by the left fielder. Good job to get it back in by Pickering to hold Davidson to a 1-out single. She just reached out and poked it down the line. Shows you how strong she is.
Yeah, and a pretty good piece of hitting on a pitch that was not really poorly placed.
No. Runner at first. 1 out for Mina Vega. Lefty matchup as well, and that first pitch is a strike. Vega frustrated, turns and takes a little walk.
I love that Deal's hammering the strike zone.
That hit from Duke was only their second hit of the game.
I mean, and right now too, if you're Deal, all the pressure's on Duke right now.
High, a ball and a strike.
I mean, they've got 8 outs to play with in this ball game and a 6-run hill to climb. If you're Deal, hammer the strike zone, let your defense shine, and try to make quick work.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hit down the right field first baseline, gloved by Sanders, who will take it to the bag. Nice play by Sid on a kind of an awkward bounce. 2 away. Davidson easily gets into second. Sid thought about it for a moment, but instead goes back to the bag. Oklahoma and Duke have already met this season. The Blue Devils were shut out by the Sooners 4-0. And OU opened the season last year against Duke as well. And this is going to do it for the Blue Devils in the 5th as a pop fly to center field is caught by Jada Coleman. And a 1-out single by Claire Davidson is wasted. And the Sooners head to the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning with a chance to walk this bad boy off in run rule fashion. 7-1 Sooners as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Mother Nature tried to push things back a bit. She accomplished it, about an hour and a half delayed, but things have worked out well for the Sooners, DJ. 7-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Cassidy Pickering, who's 1 for 2 with a stolen base, will lead things off against Walker, who's back to work. First pitch to Pickering from the lefty is a little bit low and in. Let me correct one thing from last half inning. I was talking about the series history, this being the 3rd meeting between OU and Duke. The first meeting was in February of 23. That was the 4-zip game in the Mark Campbell Classic. As the 1-0 pitch, waits and grounds it foul down the first base line is Pickering. The game earlier this year was a 3-zip win for the Sooners. So when Duke scored a run in the 2nd inning, it was the first time in 2 meetings that Duke had ever scored a run against Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, in its 7 runs here today, has scored more in 4 innings than they did in 14 against Duke combined, as the 1-1 pitch misses low to him.
Well, let's not forget, too, Duke has had their opportunities. I mean, in this game, they've left 6 runners on base and have been in positions to put runs on the board, but finding a way to get out of it.
There's a strike on the 2-1, 2-2 count. We theorize that we might see a few more pinch hitters for the Sooners, but so far, Riley Boone stands in the on-deck circle with a 2-2 count to Pickering. Here's the pitch. Pickering takes ball 3 away inside, full count. Took him a while. Took him a couple innings. And once the engine started, look out. 7 unanswered runs for the Sooners to lead it 7-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-2 pitch to Pickering is fouled back. Great. I mean, this is a Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock, and it's been packed ever since this thing started. No one left after the rain delay. Or it wasn't even a delay, just a delayed start. The 3-2 pitch to Pickering is called strike 3 on a pitch that looked out. Pickering will take that walk back to the Sooner dugout. 1 away. Here's Riley Boone.
And I think the thing that is frustrating about that strike call is we saw it early in the game as an established strike. Kelly Maxwell was getting that call. We saw Burgess for Duke get punched out on that same pitch, but then it went away and it hasn't been a strike. So again, it just has to be consistent. If that's a strike, it needed to be a strike the entire game.
Boone swings at the first pitch, pops it up left side of the infield. Baker, the shortstop, makes the catch. 2 quick outs. The strikeout of Cassidy Pickering was the first for a Duke pitcher since the third overall of the Sooners here today, and Sid Sanders will bat with nobody aboard and 2 outs. 7-1, Sooners lead it. Sanders homered in her last plate appearance. Wouldn't suck to get something going with 2 outs here, though, for the Sooners as Sid takes one up high, ball 1.
Well, in all game, I mean, you go back to that 4-run third done with 2 outs. So, I mean, this offense has done a good job of not just bowing after 2 quick outs.
Sanders takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sooners have not had a 1-2-3 inning here today. Nearly had one in the first, but a 2-out walk to Ella Parker. Oof. Called strike on the 1-1 pitch that looked a little low and in. Sanders is going to go for a bit of a walk. And it's kind of the same spot that the 1-0 pitch was in. Sanders knows that's something I've got to attack here. Here's the 1-2 headed home. Sanders swings and hammers one foul down the left field line, and that'll take a bounce off the mezzanine. There was a couple Sooner fans that were just standing in one of the aisles and kind of lucked into a softball there after it bounced around off the railing a bit. Do the 1-2 again. Sanders waits. The lefty Walker brings it home. She got under that one. A mile high to left field. Burgess with the shades camps under it in foul territory. And it's the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for the Sooners. We head to the 6th. Oklahoma, though, leads it 7-1. And we like to thank Love's Travel Stops as the presenting sponsor of OU softball. Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway. 7-1 Sooners as we head to the 6th. Back to work for Kirsten Deal and some new looks in the field for the Sooners. Hannah Core is out in left field now. So Core in left, Coleman in center, Boone in right. Riley Ludlam in behind the plate. With Brito at third, Jennings at short, Avery Hodge now in at second, and Sid Sanders over at first.
You know, we've seen these defensive changes late in games all season, especially Core in the outfield and Avery Hodge at second base. But I think something that I don't want to get lost in all of this is the fact that the Sooners are up 6 runs in the first game at the Women's College World Series and are in an opportunity to be able to make sure you're getting some of your key players reps.
Yep. First pitch is a ball. Low and away to Mia Burgess.
I mean, because it's invaluable. Again, as this week goes on, there's going to be times that Avery Hodge's number is called in a much tighter position than this. So to get some time under her belt is big time.
There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the ridiculous strike zone from our home plate umpire, Aaron Peterson, continues today.
That pitch is closer to a strike than the pitch that just punched out Cassidy Pickering. Figure it out.
There's another pitch that looked pretty good on the 1-1 that misses, I guess, in 2 balls and a strike.
I think where I'm at with it is I can be okay with that being a strike. I had no issue with it being a strike early in the game, right? I'm saying throw it there more. As a hitter, no, with 2 strikes you have to protect. But then it went away. So it just, if that's a strike, it has to be a strike all game.
Bouncer back up the middle. High Hodge fields it deep behind the bag, throws not in time. That got over the head of Deal, got over the head of Jennings, and from behind the bag, Hodge made the play, but the speedy Burgess beat it out. It's just the third hit of the game for Duke, and the first time they've had the leadoff hitter aboard since the fourth. Here's Anna Gold, who's 0 for 2. How about a nice little 6-4-3 double play?
You said it before I could.
7-1 Sooners. First pitch is low, ball 1.
One something Deal's done a good job of in this ballgame is throwing ground balls. You know, and even on that base hit, it's not something that was necessarily handled well by Burgess. Deal's done a good job of hitting locations that haven't allowed Duke to get extended.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike, 1-1. Mitch and Gold 0 for 2. Strikeout victim in the second. She flied out to center in the fourth. She bats here with a runner at first. Nobody out. Top of the sixth. 7-1 Sooners. The next pitch from Kirsten Deal will be her 20th. She rocks and fires and misses up high, 2-1. Deal inherited a testy situation in the top of the fourth inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs. It was 4-1 at that point, and Jada Coleman made an amazing diving catch. Shallow left center field. Sooners have been left lane hammer down since. The 2-1 pitch is in for strike 2.
I'm going to say this. I really expected to see Duke be a little more aggressive offensively, right? They've had a lot of hitters counts. Another one there to Gold. 2 balls and a strike. Have not done a good job in those hitters counts.
Swings, pops one up left side. Burrito has some room towards the camera well. Makes the catch. 1 away. That camera well is the area just beyond the Sooner dugout down that third base line. And she did a nice job getting that without having to lean into it or anything. She had room. 1 away. That'll bring Kelly Torres. Torres has reached twice. This has been a rough spot in the lineup, at least for Kelly Maxwell it was, as the first pitch is a strike. Kelly Maxwell and Jada Baker, the 7 and 8 hitters, have been on base 4 times, and I don't know if they've had a ball that's left the infield. 3 walks and a hit by pitch.
Yeah, they've been on base. They haven't even had to put the ball, right? You hate that stat because it's the 7-8 hole.
You one misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm sorry. I'm extremely frustrated with the strike zone.
Riley Ludlam again is back behind the plate here after an incredible day at the plate for Kinsey Hansen. 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in, including a home run. The 1-1 is grounded back up the middle. Hodge off the big hop, shovels to Jennings for 1 to first. Oh my, 4-6-3 double play as Hodge played a wild, wicked short hop. Got it to Jennings for 1, who turned it. Just what the doctor ordered. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 7-1 Sooners. It'll be the top of the lineup for the Sooners. Jada Coleman, Tiare Jennings, and Ella Parker with OU on top, 7-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
And you know the conversation? I think you were probably just getting ready to say it, playing the conversation is end of ball game.
Yep.
I mean, it.
End it. Patty Gasso was saying something to the ESPN people in the camera well. Now she walks over and is mentioning something to the Sooner dugout. She got a smile on her face as she walks away from a conversation with Ryan Wondrasik and JT Gasso as the first pitch is low to Jada Coleman. Man, Jada's hit the ball hard today. She's 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored, but it's come pretty close to 2 home runs, including a fly out to deep center field her last time up. She takes the 1-0 pitch high, 2-0.
Well, and you said it, Plank, too. Back in the third, the single from Coleman, that was really what kind of set this game on fire offensively for the Sooners. So 1 for 3, seeing the ball well, lining everything right back up the middle. But that single in the third shifted this game on its head.
2-0 is low, ball 3.
A leadoff walk here in this inning makes me feel a run rule. Just throwing that out there.
3 balls and no strikes to Jada. who waits. The pitch took a lot off it to find that inside corner for strike one. The winner will face UCLA in a nationally televised game on ESPN here on Saturday. Getting used to the second, third year of the new format. 3-1 pitch is a called strike on a pitch low and away. Jada thought it was ball 4.
I'm going to quit complaining about it, but I'm going to say it one more time. I can be okay if that's a strike, but it hasn't been a strike, and then sometimes it is. Like, figure it out.
Full count pitch to Coleman. Pop foul behind home plate. That's going to get out of play. Trails Golf Club offers the perfect atmosphere for great golf and family fun. At the Trails, you'll find golf at its best and social events to enjoy all year. Entertain clients, enjoy friends, make family memories at the Trails Golf Club. Visit trailsgolf.com. Full count here to Jada Coleman. Again, the pitch. Line down the right field line, fair. Will it get to the wall? Cut off by Davidson. That won't slow down Jennings, who slides in head first with a leadoff double. It's a 2-hit day for the greatest show on dirt.
What a good piece of hitting. Just a little off speed, and Jada Coleman took a pitch that was actually low and slow on the outer half and found a way to barrel it up. But Jada Coleman, out of the box, new double. And you can just see the joy coming from Jada Coleman today in the way that she's getting after it.
TRA is looking for her first hit of the game. She's 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. 2 o'clock Saturday. UCLA awaits. Back in the day, you would win Thursday and Friday to get Saturday off. Now, you win Thursday to get Friday off. Here's the 1-0. Jennings had a cut, swung through it for strike 1.
What do you think the better format is?
I like this.
Yeah.
I wish that they didn't force the 2 games in on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
My theory is if they don't want another off day, and that's fine, as the 1-1 pitch from Walker is headed home and slowing in. Go ahead and instead of making it an if necessary game that turns around as a doubleheader on Monday, let them come back on Tuesday and play the if necessary game. And your reward for taking care of them in 1 is getting that Tuesday off. That's the only adjustment I'd make. 2-1 pitch is lined into right field. It's a base hit. Jada Coleman had to wait on it, so she'll stay at third, but Jennings will take off and take second. You kind of get the sense that Duke is ready to go home, and Oklahoma just needs to land a knockout punch here against a staggered foe.
And we said it before this game even started, and it looks like we may see the 4th pitcher on the day for Duke. But we said it before this game started. We're either going to see a Duke team that looks fearless, or we're going to see a Duke team that looks a little scared.
Well, and again, I've been really, really blessed with the Westwood One work to get a lot of inside conversations with coaches and with the different players. And I said this on my show today, DJ. Duke had that look of a team that was just happy to be here.
Yep.
And like you said, that's either dangerous or it's, it makes things a little bit easier. And through the first couple of innings, it looked very dangerous. By that, the James Madison mindset.
Not being able to capitalize early in this game, because they had opportunities early in this game, because you could kind of feel a little bit of uneasiness coming out of the circle, and Duke just not being able to get it done. And that's kind of the deal when you face Oklahoma, is if you don't take advantage of your opportunities, this offense is inevitably probably going to bite you at some point, and you just kind of feel like that's what's happened in this ballgame.
Anytime I see anyone who spells their name D-A-N-I, I think of
Danny Dobbs.
But this is Danny Drugmuller, who will take over for the Duke Blue Devils. Drugmuller, 5-0 on the season, just 41 2/3. She's been solid. By the way, Jada Coleman at third. Her next run will make her the all-time runs leader in OU history. And the first pitch is a strike to Ella Parker. She would tie Jocelyn Allo for first in Sooner history. No balls and a strike to Ella Parker, who checks her swing on a pitch up and away.
Parker 0 for 1 on the day, but has reached base twice.
Sooner fans have not let up. They want to end this. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Parker pops it up. Shallow center field. Racing out is the second baseman Vega to make the catch. And that's the first out of the inning. Off the bat, it looked like it might be trouble. Here is Riley Ludlam.
Yeah, Parker just a little early.
And Drugmuller, a little bit of a different look. That's one of the reasons Duke is standing here is because they have so many different arms that can come out of their bullpen.
Now batting for Oklahoma, number 30, Riley Ludlam.
First World Series plate appearance for Riley Ludlam. What a moment. 21 starts this year. First pitch takes a strike. She took over when Kinsey Hansen got hurt in the Texas Tech series and was solid behind the plate, swung the bat well. Sooners obviously missed Kinsey Hansen, but Ludlam helped them not skip a beat. The 0-1 pitch is fouled back, rolls back down the netting, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and during that time, too, we really saw Ludlam get into a groove offensively. I mean, she always handles this pitching staff well, but it was really cool to kind of see her figure some things out at the plate. And she's been really good as a bat off the bench.
She swings and pops this one up on the infield. Baker is under it, makes the catch. 2 away. Well, the Sooners are either a gapper here away from walking it off or an out away from going back and trying to end this the old-fashioned way. As Alyssa Brito steps to the plate.
Alyssa Brito.
Yeah, I like the idea of a run rule sending a message early in the tournament.
First pitch to Brito is up and away.
But I also like Deal getting some more reps. So win-win for the win. We're not quite there yet.
Not quite, but it feels good. 1 ball, no strike to Brito, who rips one into left field. It's down for a hit. Coleman scores. Here comes T.R.A. Jennings. The throw is not in time. Win column Sooners. Game over. Oklahoma advances in the Women's College World Series with a 9-1 run rule win over Duke. Bring on the Bruins. It's Oklahoma and a UCLA Saturday at 2 o'clock for a spot in the Final Four.
Send a message. Send a message. The Sooners did it today, and they were just in control as this game continued on.
Oklahoma fell behind 1-0 and never looked back. The final score, Oklahoma 9, Duke 1. The Bud Light postgame show starts now. This is Sooner Softball from Learfield.